Oh, hey guys. Well, you know, I am so sick and tired of this. I am just so weary of having to go from one exquisite marina to another exquisite marina to another exquisite marina. This has been a lot of fun. I tell you, I'm in Yankee Point Marina off the Rappahannock down in Virginia here in the Northern Neck region. Now, I left the Sailing Emporium on Monday. And it took me 4 days to get down here, primarily because I just take my time. I don't want to be out on the water 10, 12 hours. I mean, I could have, but I didn't. So I left the Sailing Emporium and I stopped off at Herrington Harbour South. I could have gone all the way to Solomon's, but why would you want to pass up Herrington Harbour? I mean, it's such a nice resort marina. I get in, plenty of time, early in the afternoon, hung out at the beach for a little bit. Then went to Mango's, get a little bit of refreshment and something to eat. And it's just such a nice place to walk around, you know, eco-friendly tours or trails to walk on, really nice. So then the next day I headed out to Solomon's, and most of this trip I had the winds against me. But going to Solomon's wasn't bad. I motored most of the way and I went in and I stay at Calvert Marina, which is really a nice marina. I mean, this thing is huge. You come in, now the fuel pier is on the starboard side, and there's a red day marker there, but there's enough, it's got 9 to 12 feet of water next to the fuel pier. Just as you pull up to the fuel pier, when you pull away, you don't go straight out. You got to cut that sharp and go back around that red buoy. But then you go down and around, and they've got nice floating piers, it's really nice. Now, see, this was a naval yard. It was one of the first amphibious training facilities in the country. So as you walk around, you still see foundations of some of the old buildings, and some of the buildings are actually still there. So this is a nice marina, and they've got a snack bar type of thing that's open right on site. They got a gourmet restaurant or upscale restaurant on site. There's no need to go anywhere else. I mean, it's a great stopover point. Then the next day was kind of my dreaded day. Okay, because I had to go across the Potomac, going to Reedville. It actually wasn't bad this time. I had south winds again, so I motored most of the way, but I was able to cross the Potomac in 2 to 3 foot waves. It wasn't bad at all. I called a trawler that was headed north. He said it wasn't bad, but it was pretty foggy out. So on that day, I have AIS on my chart plotter and my radio. So I'm just cruising along, and all of a sudden the collision avoidance alarm goes off. I'm like, well, what the heck? I don't see anything. Of course, it's foggy as all hell. You can't see anything for more than 3/4 of a mile away. Well, this gives you plenty of time. So I go over to the GPS, I move my cursor over, I find out what ship it is. I hail the captain on channel 13. I don't remember the name of the vessel. But anyway, I told him I had him on the AIS and that I'd be altering course and be out of his way. He thanked me and said, well, you know, I was just getting ready to give you a call. So, you know, having the AIS is good. Not all vessels are going to show up on AIS, but this one did. So that was nice. Now, when you get into Reedville, it's a pretty straightforward shot. It's wide. They have a commercial fishing fleet there that they fish for Mannheim that they make fish oil out of. So when you're coming in, you look like you're just going into this big shipyard. But it's a nice little marina. It's a very basic marina. It's at just kind of like a bulkhead. But the big thing about it is the Crazy Crab restaurant, which unfortunately is not open except on the weekends this time of year. Now, after Memorial Day here, they'll be open all the time. But it's a nice facility, you know, like I said, basic, but water, electric. Take a little walk into town. That's very interesting. The Fisherman's Museum, and I want to do a piece on that because that is really, really interesting. That is worth the trip onto itself. That and dinner at the Crazy Crab. Can't beat it. All right, so now my next trip is here to Yankee Point Marina. South winds, picking up, small craft advisories in the afternoon, which wasn't too bad. But I got to the Rappahannock, and man, the winds were just dead against me. At times I was only doing 3 knots, but once I made that turn to come up the Rappahannock, and I got the jib all the way up, and I tried to put the main up, but it jammed on me, so I got to look at that, fix that, figure that out. But hell, I was doing 7.5 knots over ground because the current was coming in. Now, you go underneath the bridge, and then the Yankee Point Marina is on the Caratoma River. I think I'm saying it right, I don't know. But it's wide, it's well marked, there's plenty of deep water, and coming in on the chart you might see, you know, a red and green pretty close, but it's so well marked you can't mess it up, and you have room. It's not like some of these really narrow channels where if you get out of it by more than a foot, boom, you're on the ground. No, you got a little bit of room. You know, you watch your depth sounder, you can get yourself out of trouble. By the time I got in, I'll bet you winds were a good 15 knots with gusts of 20 or more. So I'm glad I got in when I did. Tied up, beautiful facility. I mean, the grounds are well maintained. The docks are exquisite. I think they're fairly new, but they keep them up too. I mean, you can see they're replacing boards all the time. It's really well maintained. The carpentry work around here, it's really neat. I mean, everything is just so well taken care of. Now they got a restaurant, windows on the water, where I'm sitting now, and then they have, which is really a nice restaurant, and they do catering. Oh yeah. So I was here and they had a cruising club come in, and they did a old-fashioned traditional clam and lobster bake, like a New England clam and lobster bake. The owners, Ken and Karen, lived in Maine for a number of years, so that's how they know how to do this. And they have the lobsters flown in and trucked in. They even bring fresh seaweed and have that shipped in, so that as they're steaming this, you get the flavor, the salt flavor of the seaweed. You don't eat the seaweed, I mean, but that just steams all the vegetables and the potatoes and the sausage and the lobster. I was glad I was here to see that. That was pretty interesting. But then they also have a pool and a poolside snack bar or cafe. I really should call it a cafe because it's not just a snack bar. They serve breakfast, lunch, dinner. It was really nice. So now I'm just kind of hanging out, relaxing, having a little bit of refreshment. I may try to catch a couple of fish for dinner. I mean, this is just, it's really great. This is a marina that if you're anywhere in the area, and even if you're not in the area, make a trip to it. You're going to really enjoy it. It's a very, very relaxing atmosphere, and Ken and Karen and the whole staff just make you feel like part of the family. So anyway, guys, happy and safe boating to you, your family and friends. Until next time.